Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm diving deep into a movie that fans had been dreaming about for decades, the epic slasher showdown, Freddy vs. Jason. This wasn't just a movie, it was an event. After years of teases, studio battles, and countless script drafts, the two titans of terror finally clashed on the big screen in 2003. So, grab your popcorn, check under your bed, and make sure you're not camping near Crystal Lake. For years, the idea of Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees sharing the screen felt like a playground argument. Who would win in a fight? It was the stuff of fan fiction and late-night debates. The studios knew they had a potential goldmine, but the challenge was immense. How do you bring these two icons together in a way that respects both of their mythologies and actually makes sense? The journey to get this film made was a marathon, not a sprint, with rumors swirling since the late 80s. When Freddy's gloved hand snatched Jason's mask at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, it wasn't just a fun Easter egg, it was a promise. A promise that took another 10 years to fulfill, but man, was the anticipation electric. So how do you solve a problem like Freddy? He's been forgotten. The parents of Springwood have successfully erased him from the memory of their children, leaving him powerless and trapped in hell. Without fear, the dream demon is just a demon. And that's where the genius of the premise kicks in. Freddy can't haunt dreams if no one remembers him. So he needs a pawn, a blunt instrument to stir up some fear and get the whispers started again. He searches the depths of hell and finds the perfect candidate, the silent, relentless, and very much remembered Jason Voorhees. Disguised as Jason's mother, Pamela, Freddy manipulates him, sending him back to Elm Street to start a new killing spree. The plan is simple. Jason does the dirty work, the town panics, they blame Freddy, and just like that, Freddy's back in business. It's a clever, almost elegant way to intertwine their separate worlds. It gives Freddy a clear motivation and uses Jason's own psychological weaknesses against him, setting the stage for an inevitable conflict when Jason won't stop killing on Freddy's turf. Let's be honest, we all came for one thing, the fights. And Freddy vs. Jason delivers on that promise in spades. The movie wisely gives us two major brawls between the slashers, each with a distinct flavor. The first round takes place in the dream world, Freddy's home turf. This is where the film really gets to play with its visuals. Freddy is in full control, a god in his own realm. He toys with Jason, exploiting his fear of water, turning him into a pinball, and generally having a blast. He's faster, smarter, and utterly sadistic. It's a showcase of Freddy's psychological power, and for a moment, it looks like Jason is completely outmatched. It's a visually creative sequence that reminds us why Freddy is so terrifying in his own right. But then, the tables turn. The human characters, who are more than just cannon fodder in this film, figure out a way to pull Freddy into the real world. And this is where we get the second, more brutal showdown at Camp Crystal Lake. Suddenly, the power dynamic is completely flipped. In the physical world, Freddy's supernatural abilities are limited. He's still strong, but he's up against Jason Voorhees, an unstoppable tank of pure brute force. This fight is a visceral, bloody slugfest. Machete versus glove, brawn versus, well, slightly less brawn, but with more blades. The choreography is fantastic, with both characters taking an insane amount of punishment. They use the environment, their signature weapons, and sheer hatred to tear each other apart. It's exactly the kind of gritty, no-holds-barred clash that fans had envisioned, a perfect contrast to the dream battle. What makes the movie work so well is the synergy between its two star slashers. They aren't just two monsters thrown into a cage. They are polar opposites who complement each other perfectly. Freddy is all personality. He's a loudmouth, a sadistic comedian who loves to taunt his victims. His power is psychological, preying on fear and trauma. Jason, on the other hand, is a silent, unstoppable force of nature. He's pure physicality, a walking embodiment of rage and vengeance. There's no wit, no one-liners, just a relentless drive to kill. This dynamic creates a fantastic contrast. You have the talker versus the silent stalker, the mind versus the body. It allows the film to shift its tone, from the darkly comedic and surreal moments with Freddy to the tense, brutal suspense of a classic Jason hunt. They feel like two sides of the same slasher coin, and seeing them collide is incredibly satisfying. And you simply cannot talk about Freddy Krueger without talking about the man behind the makeup, Robert Englund. By 2003, Englund had been playing Freddy for nearly 2 decades. The character was a part of him, and his performance in Freddy vs. Jason is a triumphant final bow in the role. He slips back into the glove as if he never left. His energy is infectious. Every line is delivered with that perfect blend of menace and dark humor. He clearly relishes the opportunity to be the star of the show again, and he steals every scene he's in. This film is a testament to his legacy. Without Robert Englund's iconic portrayal, Freddy is just a guy in a sweater. His performance grounds the entire fantastical premise and gives the audience the Freddy they know and love at the absolute peak of his evil powers. It's the perfect send-off for his tenure as the Springwood slasher. One of the most talked about aspects of the film is its ending. After a brutal, explosive climax at the docks of Crystal Lake, both killers are seemingly defeated. Jason is impaled multiple times and Freddy is dismembered, but in the final shot, Jason emerges from the water holding his signature machete, and Freddy's severed, winking head. The screen cuts to black, and the debate reignites. Who really won? The beauty of this ending is its ambiguity. It doesn't give a definitive answer, allowing fans to continue the argument they've been having for years. You could argue Jason won because he's the one left standing. You could argue Freddy won because he's still alive, in a sense, and got his wink in. Or you could argue that it's a draw, and that they're destined to fight forever. It's the perfect crowd-pleasing way to cap off the film, ensuring that the conversation doesn't end when the credits roll. It is a smart move that respects both fan bases and leaves the door open for a sequel that, sadly, we never got. Ultimately, Freddy vs. Jason is a masterclass in fan service, and I mean that in the best way possible. The filmmakers knew exactly what the audience wanted to see, and they delivered it with passion and style. The movie is packed with callbacks and references to both franchises. We get Freddy's classic lines, the "Ki ma mama" sound cue, a visit to 1428 Elm Street, and the bloody return to Camp Crystal Lake. The kills are creative and gory, living up to the standards of both series. The human characters, led by Monica Keena and Jason Ritter, are surprisingly likable and resourceful, serving as more than just bodies for the count. The film perfectly balances the horror, the action, and the dark comedy, creating an experience that feels like the ultimate greatest hits album for 80s slashers. It's a movie made by fans, for fans. It's a love letter to two of the most enduring figures in horror history. It managed to overcome years of development hell to create a story that was clever, action-packed, and respectful to its legendary characters. It gave us the epic fights we craved, a definitive final performance from Robert Englund, and an ending that kept us talking for years. It's pure, unadulterated, popcorn-munching fun, and it remains one of the most entertaining and successful horror crossovers ever made. It understood the assignment and passed with flying bloody colors. What do you guys think? Is Freddy vs. Jason the ultimate monster mashup? Who do you think really won that final battle? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this trip down Elm Street and through the woods of Crystal Lake, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite films. I'll see you in the next one.